What if I told you that salt is not actually the real reason your blood pressure is high, okay? And the obsession with cutting salt might actually be distracting you from the actual real problem. Now, look, for decades we've been told, from your doctor, lower salt. This is what lowers blood pressure. Yet think about it, 50% of adults still have hypertension, okay? 1 in 2 people over 50. If salt was the root cause, then, why is high blood pressure still climbing in adults today? Now, I'm going to break down when salt does matter, when it doesn't, and what is actually driving high blood pressure in most men over 40. Because if you fix the wrong problem, you're going to stay stuck, okay? So let's get something really straight. Salt can raise blood pressure, okay, in certain people, but here's what almost nobody sort of explains, okay? High blood pressure is not primarily a salt problem. It's a vascular function problem, okay? Now your arteries are supposed to relax, they're supposed to expand, dilate, handle blood flow efficiently. When they lose that ability, pressure does start to rise, okay? It's kind of like blaming water pressure in a hose on the water itself when the hose is actually stiff. Do you get it? It's clogged and it's narrow, okay? The issue isn't the water, it's the pipe. Same with your body. And most men I work with don't have a salt issue, okay? They have an insulin resistance issue, okay? Metabolic dysfunction, low nitric oxide, chronic inflammation, belly fat, visceral fat. This is what stiffens arteries, okay? You don't have a heart problem. Very few people do, okay? Now, check out the comments down below in the description and learn how we use a preventative protocol to reduce medication and lower your high blood pressure. We've done this with 3,000 people, okay? But let's just get back to the video. So let me explain this really, really simply, all right? Now, when you eat carbs all day, when you carry visceral fat, when insulin stays elevated, you trigger several things, okay? Insulin will thicken blood vessel walls, all right? Now, over time, arteries do lose flexibility, okay? So you produce less nitric oxide, okay? Now, nitric oxide is what allows vessels to relax, okay? Inflammation damages endothelial thing. Now, that lining controls dilation. Now, think about this. If your arteries are stiff and narrow, even normal blood volume creates high pressure. That's not a salt problem. That's a metabolic problem, okay? Now, let's talk about the salt myth properly, all right? There are salt-sensitive individuals, okay, but salt sensitivity is usually found in people with kidney dysfunction, advanced metabolic disease, autoimmune diseases, okay, severe insulin resistance. Again, metabolic dysfunction, it all comes from the root cause. Healthy athletes, lean individuals, men with good insulin sensitivity, they often handle sodium obviously just fine. Now, in fact, if you go too low on salt and you activate stress and hormones like renin, aldosterone and cortisol, okay, which can actually increase vascular resistance, that's not good, all right? Now, here's the part most doctors actually skip, okay? If you improve insulin sensitivity, your nitric oxide production, okay, muscle mass, which is your body's armor, improve your body composition, blood pressure drops, even without drastic salt restrictions, okay? Now, you might be thinking, why? Let me tell you, because the vessels regain flexibility. This is why strength training works. It's the best thing you can do. This is why reducing visceral fat works. And this is why fixing your gut inflammation works, okay? And this is why clinically it all works, okay? We don't start with removing salt, okay? We start with improving vascular function, okay? Improving your metabolic health, improving the whole system, okay, and your performance. Now, when we implement proper strength training, nitric oxide boosting protocols, and a structured metabolic reset, blood work is driven by intervention. Men often see blood pressure drop within weeks, okay, without obsessing over seasoning their food. And, let me be clear, if someone is eating ultra-processed, high-sodium junk food all day, that's a lifestyle problem. But salt in isolation, especially from whole foods, that's rarely the root cause, okay? Blaming salt is just convenient for people and doctors. Fixing metabolic requirements takes work, and most people don't want to do the work. So here's what I want you to do, okay? Instead of obsessing over salt, ask yourself, or get some lab work done. How's my fasting insulin, or how much visceral fat am I carrying? Am I strength training in the gym? Is my nitric oxide at a good level? Is it optimal? And what does my blood work actually show, your lab work? Because high blood pressure is not random, okay? It's a signal. And if you correct the underlying dysfunction, okay, the numbers start to follow, all right? And if you want to understand the exact system we use to reverse high blood pressure at the root without medication, comment the word BP down below and check out the link in the description. It will walk you through the NOP blood flow protocol, okay, and the metabolic repair phase, all right, and all the blood markers sort of we track, all right? So go in the comments down below and in the description, watch that video, and it will make it really, really clear for you. But the most important thing I want you to do is like and subscribe so we can share this with more people, so we can educate everyone. You don't need pills, you don't need a doctor to get you on a prescription, all right, most importantly. Okay, take care.